All right, guys, in today's video, we're going to show you how you can do chroma key removal inside Davinci Resolve. It's very simple. It doesn't take too long. I'm going to show you two options where you can use. The first one is going to be obviously your 3D keyer inside of the color page. And then I'm going to show you how you can do the Delta key inside of Fusion. Now, I'm also going to show you guys how you can make your backgrounds look more realistic in terms of the generation. I'm going to use a real background, and I'm going to use a gradient background. Obviously, the gradient background won't need to look realistic; it'll just be a shade. So let's get into it. I'm going to grab the actual clip that we want to remove the background from. I'm just going to remove the audio sound because we don't actually need the audio. We just need the video. That's what we're going to use today in today's video. Grab this clip, and I'm going to move into the color page, and we're going to look for 3D keyer. So let's go 3D keyer. I'm going to drag that onto our image, and I'm going to start playing around with the qualifier here. We're going to select the green. We're going to do as much as we can. We'll go around to the side to remove that as well. There we go. Nice and clean. Now I'm going to add a alpha out so we can see the 3D key that we just made. Obviously, if you don't see it, you're just going to have the green screen still sitting around. You want to make sure that you add an alpha out onto your node over here by right-clicking, add alpha out, dragging connected with the actual node itself. So there's a couple of other options you can do for behavior. You can do tight, you can do luma, you can do flat, soft. Soft is okay. It doesn't really give a good result. You want to use the flat. For me at the moment, the best result when it comes to the flat. And obviously notice inside of the image itself, there's a lot of green on the outside, which is giving us a bit of an issue because it's spilling onto our talents. So what we're going to do is despill this clip as much as we can. You'll notice now as I play through the clip, the spill of the green isn't as prominent at all anymore. You'll notice that the green is gone. And we'll go and increase our chroma tolerance, which is in our key adjustment. We're going to increase that a bit. You'll notice that it does affect our actual spill on the top here, but it tightens it up and makes it cleaner. All right, so we've done that. We want to then go and do another. We're going to go and do a window around our character. So we're going to go and do a square window. This is going to allow us to add a background inside of the timeline, a window around him, just like that. We're going to play through the clip to make sure we don't remove anything around him. So let's go and check if there's any like hand gestures or features that go outside this square. Doesn't look like it. No. Cool. All right. That's nice and tight. We're going to move this clip up. We're going to use our arrow keys, hold Alt and do arrow, and we're going to drag in this clip over here to the bottom layer underneath it. I'm going to then increase the duration to something like that, and we're going to increase it completely. So there we go. Now this is a generated background I did inside of Gemini. Very simple prompted office room background with wood features and all that kind of stuff. Now, you'll notice that there are a few things that look a bit out in this image. Obviously, he looks a bit small in comparison to the actual room itself. So we're going to increase his size. We're going to move him around a bit. Obviously, we don't do too much. And then again, our background looks so unrealistic. It's so in focus. It just doesn't give us that look. So we're going to add a lens below we can add to the image itself. This will give you different effects when you choose the patterns, a square, or you can do a pentagon or hexagon. I just leave it on hexagon because it's pretty good there. And then we'll play around with the blur settings itself. So we'll leave that as full and we'll go around and do blur size. Obviously, we want to give this room a realistic feel. So we'll do a bit of anamorphic to it as well. We'll do so what the chroma shift doesn't do really much. Check the highlights. Yeah, we can push some of the highlights in the background. All right, then we'll go to our apodization and we'll play around with this over here at the bottom. Yeah, that does it. It's not so bad. And then we'll go to our cathodite optic over here. I don't want to do too much. That's pretty good. We'll lower this as well. Just play around your settings. Obviously, you don't want to do too much because then this is completely unrealistic. You still want to have a room in the background. Um, yeah, and then we'll see the result after that. So let's do that. It looks pretty good. It looks like a background, and obviously, you won't have any like movement and stuff in the background. It's a still set, so luckily for us, it's gonna work like that. So this will be your clip. It'll look like this. Obviously, there's no grade to it. There's no adjustments in terms of power windows and stuff like that, making certain things pop out and make it feel more realistic. But it's pretty good for what we had originally. This is great. It's removed all the green screen. Great result where we are at the moment. Now we'll move on to the second option. So inside of your clip, you're going to add the clip again. We're going to leave it on the same layer as we did over here on the second layer. We're going to move into Fusion. I have Fusion programmed as a hotkey, so it's Control Alt F. We're then going to move this to the side, and inside of Fusion, we're going to look for a Delta key. So let's go and do Delta key. There it is. And we're going to start selecting inside of our Delta key this here, the green background. So sometimes when you're clicking, it doesn't always select it. I don't know why it does that. But that's pretty good. I mean, it saves some hair follicles for us. It's done a really, really good job just off the bat completely. I mean, if we go into the clip now, we just play it. I mean, that's pretty good. You'll still see there is a bit of shadowing over here, which I don't like. We're going to clean that up now. So inside your view mode over here, we're then going to go and select the matte. So this is going to give us the matte out view mode to see what the green screen's really done. Now we can play around with our green and try and modify what's been selected in terms of the green. And that's pretty good. You won't notice that if you go back into the final output mode that we've done some green screen. You'll see it over here as a shadow. And if we add in a background like we did in the previous one, just drag and copy that across, we might see a bit of noise. Now we don't want the noise because the noise is going to be noticeable in our image. So let's go back into our Fusion composition and we're going to select the same thing here. We're going to go Delta key and we're going to go into matte tab over here and we're going to just increase some thresholds. So top is obviously to clean out the top section. So we'll go into our pre-matte and you'll see that the green starts popping back up some more and the bottom threshold is this. So we're going to clean up the bottom threshold as much as we can and give that a nice remove any of that noise in the background. And we'll also do a bit of the top. And this will be the blacks, obviously the solid colors and stuff like that. So you'll see when I go back, the hair over here, I'll zoom in for you guys. The hair starts to become one solid. So I don't want to do too much of it. So I still want to have that feature. Obviously, we did use this key for a certain reason. That's pretty good as is. Like that's a great key. And that works pretty well. So we'll go back to our timeline. And inside our timeline, we're going to use the cropping tool. And we're going to crop our sides of this image. And we're going to remove the background completely, just like that. Now this works a lot better than our key. I'll show you the key option and I'll show you this option. So it's softer edges, the hairing is better, this is a cleaner fit. This one is a bit hard cuts on the top here. So I mean if you're cleaning out something that has a lot of clean lines and there's no like fur or hair and stuff like that, then the 3D key is probably your best option. If you're doing something that a person that has a lot of hair and it's in a set and I'd use the Delta key. It's a lot better. Obviously, going to improve on our positioning for this guy, and we're going to put him in the middle. The way you know the middle is middle, you can grab a line from your ruler and bonus tip, if you want to add rulers and guides, make sure you click on this at the bottom here. So you go to this here and you click on that and you go to the drop down and you select rulers and guides. So that's simple. So we'll just check if this guy is nice and centered, and he more or less is. Just careful not to move your crop around too much. We'll do that. And then we will play the clip as is. So let's see his talking position. Okay, that's more central. And just like that. So That's our talent. He's in the middle of the image and he's now set perfectly. I think he's nicely in the middle. Make sure that looks good. Yeah. So this is the delta key result, and this is the alpha key, 3D alpha key result. They don't look too far apart, but there are some differences. You can see the hair looks better, and it was a lot easier to do the delta key than it was to do the 3D key. So now let's move on to doing a gradient background. Now this you're going to do in Davinci Resolve's Fusion. This is more of a complicated one. So yeah, pay attention if you want to, completely up to you if you want to do a gradient background. But I'm going to go into our Fusion. I'm going to go and grab an effect, a Fusion composition. I'm going to make the length 15 seconds. I'm going to drag it out. Don't stress about that. We're going to make sure that this thing is the right length of our full on edit. We'll go to that, drag it out. Okay, now obviously you can right click open in Fusion over here, or you can do Alt Control F, which is my shortcut. We're going to bring in a background like this, and then we're going to change this background color to like let's do a bit of a purple. Let's have a look at the purple. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a bit hectic on the hair, so we'll go back to the Fusion clip. Boom. And we're going to just mix in some colors that are a bit more stable for us. It looks nice and clean. It's a little pale, but it's got a bit of a blue color in it, so it's fine. So we'll do this, and then we're going to do something else that is by adding another background. We're going to add in this one over here by dragging the endpoint. We're then going to go and we're going to do a ellipse tool. We're going to add it to our this is our masking endpoint. And then we're going to do this. We're going to go and make the softer, nice edges soft, just like that, as much as we can. We're also going to go to the background node. We're going to background effect, and we're going to pick a color on screen. We're going to make it a bit darker. This is the exact same color we picked earlier, but we're going to make it a bit darker. We're going to go back into our edit. Now, as you can see, that looks pretty good. There's a bit of distance, looks a bit of depth. It's pretty clean background. We can do better though inside of Fusion. So we'll open the clip again. We'll click on it, we'll open inside of Fusion. And we can then make this sphere bigger, just like that. We'll compare it now. It's a bit dark. I'm not a fan of the darkness of this entire color. So we'll go and we'll go back into Fusion. And we're going to use the same thing. We're going to go and do color picker again. And we're just going to grab the outside. Then we're going to do a bit more of a vibrant color. Let's do that. Okay. And we'll compare it. There we go. Nice and clean gradient background. Very simple. You don't have to make this in Photoshop. You don't have to make it in After Effects. Very, very simple. So that you have it. Those are your two versions. You have your 3D Kia with your background, a nice blur effect added to it, and then obviously you have your gradient effect with your delta key, and then obviously again if I drag this across here, and I'll show you the delta key with the background. It's the same background. I didn't do anything special to it, but yeah, that's how this works. If you guys enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to try and upload as many helpful tips for you guys who are starting out your editing process and learning editing from scratch. I'm going to be opening another tutorial as well on how to edit in Davinci Resolve. I'll show you how to set up my bins, and I'll show you how to set up my media pool and what effects I use a lot, and all that goodness. But thank you so much. See you on the next one. Cheers.